All right, let's dive into Blue Horses. This poem, it's like a secret code, uses symbols to unlock these deeper meanings. It's by this Georgian poet, Gaktion, and we've got a whole bunch of sources to unpack it all. Think of this deep dive as like your crash course in symbolism and Georgian literary tradition.
Yeah, and what's really fascinating here is the historical context. Imagine Europe, like in the late 1800s, early 1900s. It was a time of massive upheaval, the Industrial Revolution, groundbreaking scientific discoveries, and then World War I just explodes onto the scene. All of this really shook people's faith and made them question everything they thought they knew about the world.
Yeah, it's like the whole world was transforming, and people were left wondering, where do we even fit in now? What do we believe in? It's kind of similar to how we wrestle with the impacts of technology today.
Or rapid social change.
Right.
Exactly. And that's where symbolism comes in. Think of it as artists using everyday objects like colors, animals, even the weather, to represent these big, abstract ideas. In Blue Horses, Gaktion, or GT as he's often called, he really dives headfirst into this crisis of faith, using these powerful symbols to explore what happens when we lose our old certainties.
Okay, I'm starting to see how this connects to us even now, but let's get into the specifics. What kind of symbols are we talking about in this poem?
Well, the poem's title itself is like the first clue, right? Blue horses. Now, you don't see blue horses just galloping around every day, do you?
Right.
So there's got to be something more to it than just their color.
Yeah, and blue is often associated with sadness, vastness, even spirituality. So what could these blue horses represent? I mean, are they like literal horses, or is there something more there?
Yeah, they could be a symbol of that deep spiritual yearning that people feel when their old faith starts to crumble, that feeling of searching for something to fill the void, something to believe in.
It's like those horses are running towards something, but they can't quite grasp it. Forever searching. But you mentioned earlier that this poem tackles this idea of a world without God. So are the horses running towards something, or are they running away from something?
Well, that's the beauty of symbolism, isn't it? It can hold these multiple meanings. They could also represent these untamed forces of nature, beautiful but dangerous, rushing headlong into a world without the anchor of faith.
I see, like the ocean. Mesmerizing and terrifying all at once. It really captures that sense of uncertainty and anxiety people must have felt when those old beliefs were being challenged.
Exactly. And it's not like a comforting image or anything, but it's powerful because it forces us to confront those uncomfortable feelings head on.
Yeah, and it's not just the blue horses, right? There are these other striking images in the poem, like a setting sun and an unseen shore. What is GT trying to convey with those?
Well, remember, in symbolism, nothing is random. That setting sun could represent the end of an era, the fading of traditional beliefs, maybe even hinting at the absence of a heavenly realm. And that unseen shore, well, it could symbolize the unknown, the terrifying void that opens up when we lose our spiritual grounding.
Okay, I'm starting to feel a bit unsettled here, like those old anchors are slipping away, but there's one line in the poem that really sends chills down my spine. Who knows your face, or who will speak your name? It's haunting, almost like a desperate plea.
It's a powerful line, that's for sure. And like all good symbolism, it's open to multiple interpretations. On one hand, it could be humanity crying out to a God who seems distant or even absent. But it could also be flipped,
Yeah.
Imagine God asking humanity, have you forgotten me? Have you turned away from your spiritual roots?
Whoa, that's like a whole new layer of meaning. It's like the poem is holding up a mirror to us, making us question our own relationship with faith and spirituality. And what's even more interesting is how GT's deep love for the Georgian language adds another dimension to all of this. From what I've read, he didn't just use language, he almost worshipped it.
He did. For GT, language, especially Georgian, it wasn't just a way to communicate. It was a spiritual force, a divine gift.
Wow. Imagine believing that our alphabet held sacred power. That's how GT viewed the Georgian language.
That's a great way to put it. He believed that each word, each syllable carried this deep, almost sacred meaning. And that belief really shaped the way he wrote. It turned him into this incredible word alchemist, someone who could unlock these hidden depths and manipulate language to achieve these incredible emotional effects.
And I'm really intrigued. Tell me more about this word alchemy. How did he actually do that? What did it look like in practice?
Well, think of it like this. GT was so fascinated by these things called morphemes. They're the smallest units of meaning within a word. Like how words have roots and prefixes.
Right.
It's kind of like that. But he took it to a whole other level.
So instead of just using words, he was like deconstructing them, playing with their building blocks to create something new and powerful. It's like he was a linguistic architect.
Exactly. He wasn't afraid to break the rules, twist and reshape the language. to really match the emotional intensity of his poems. And that's what makes Blue Horses so captivating. Even in translation, you can feel that raw energy, the struggle for meaning, even if you don't understand every single nuance of the original Georgian.
You know, as we're talking about all of this, I can't help but think about how art has this incredible ability to transcend time. Here we are, over a century later, and we're still grappling with the same questions that GT was wrestling with back then. It makes you realize that some human experiences are truly universal, no matter what century you're living in.
Absolutely. That feeling of being lost, searching for meaning in a world that often feels so chaotic and confusing, it's something we can all relate to. I mean, think about how rapidly technology is changing our lives right now. It's disorienting, exciting, and a little bit frightening, all at the same time.
Yeah, it's like we're all riding those blue horses, charging headlong into the unknown.
Right. And just like the people in GT's time, they were grappling with the implications of industrialization and war, and we're trying to make sense of artificial intelligence, climate change, all these other huge forces shaping our world.
So Blue Horses isn't just some dusty old poem. It's a mirror reflecting our own anxieties and uncertainties back at us. It's like it's saying, hey, you're not alone in this. We've been here before, and we'll figure it out together.
Exactly. And that's where GT's artistry really shines, I think. He doesn't offer easy answers or preachy solutions. He uses these vivid images, these carefully crafted words, to evoke a feeling, an experience, and invites us to participate in that search for meaning alongside him.
You know, earlier you mentioned how GT believed that the Georgian alphabet had these divine origins. And it got me thinking, every culture has its own unique relationship with language, right? I mean, some languages are considered romantic, others harsh or musical. It's fascinating how language itself can shape our perceptions of the world.
It absolutely does.
Yeah.
And in the case of Blue Horses, GT's deep reverence for the Georgian language, it adds another layer of complexity and richness to the poem.
So it's not just what he's saying, but how he's saying it that matters.
Precisely. The sounds, the rhythms, the structure of the language itself all contribute to the poem's emotional impact.
Okay, but let's be real for a second. Most of us don't speak Georgian. So how can we appreciate those nuances? What's the key for us non-Georgian speakers to unlock the full power of Blue Horses?
It all comes back to GT's mastery of the Georgian language. We were talking about how we use the Georgian language itself as a tool to heighten the emotional impact of Blue Horses.
Yeah, can you give us some specific examples of how that works in the poem?
Absolutely. Remember those morphemes, the building blocks of meaning? He was obsessed with them. He'd rearrange them like a puzzle, creating these unexpected combinations that just packed this emotional punch. It's like squeezing every drop of meaning and feeling from each word.
Yeah, like he was a sculptor, but with language.
Yeah.
Shaping and molding our emotions.
Exactly. And he wasn't just focused on the meaning of words. He was also a master of sound. The sonic quality of Georgian, the way it rolls off the tongue. He used assonance, alliteration, the natural rhythm of the language, to create a specific mood, almost like composing music.
So even if we don't understand the literal words, we can still feel the impact of the sounds.
Precisely. Take that line we keep coming back to. And then that dad who's on her face.
Yeah,
Even
yeah.
without knowing Georgian, you can hear the longing in that drawn-out "oh" sound of the questioning tone created by those sharp S sounds. It's like a sonic representation of that deep yearning for connection, for recognition.
Yeah, it's like the sound itself is echoing that feeling of searching in the darkness, calling out to something you can't quite see.
And that's just one example. Throughout the poem, he plays with rhythm and meter, speeding up and slowing down the pace to mirror those emotional shifts. It's like he's taking us on this roller coaster ride through doubt, despair, and then these glimmers of hope.
So it's not just what he's saying, but how he's saying it. The words, the sounds, the rhythm, it all comes together to create this immersive, almost visceral experience.
Exactly. And while a translation might capture the basic meaning, it can't fully replicate that sonic and emotional landscape that GT created with the Georgian language. It's like trying to describe the taste of a delicious meal. You can get the general idea, but you have to experience it firsthand to truly appreciate it.
You know, it makes you want to learn Georgian, just to unlock that extra layer of meaning and beauty. But even without that, I think we've gained a much deeper appreciation for how GT used language as a tool to explore these universal human experiences.
And that's what makes this poem so relevant today, even though it was written over a century ago. It reminds us that the search for meaning is an ongoing journey,
Yeah.
one that we all share, regardless of our language, culture, or time period.
Yeah, it's like GT is saying, hey, let's explore these big questions together. Let's embrace the uncertainty and keep searching for those glimmers of hope, even in the darkest of times.
And maybe by engaging with art that challenges us, that makes us feel a little uncomfortable, we can find new ways of understanding ourselves and the world around us.
It's like Blue Horses is this reminder that sometimes the most profound truths are not found in the answers, but in the questions themselves.
Beautifully said.
Well, this deep dive has been quite the journey. Exploring symbolism, the power of language. We even confronted some of our own fears and uncertainties. I hope you've enjoyed this exploration of Blue Horses as much as we have. Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep diving deep.
Like a fall, colored by the setting sun, a shore shown in the eternal region. I couldn't see the other side, I couldn't see anything without cold and sheltered silence. Without silence and in the cold, there is only sadness in the eternal region. There's no fire in your eyes. You're lying in a cold tomb. You are lying in a cold grave, and your soul is not happy. With skeletal forests of maddened faces, endless days are running, rushing. With a dreamy display, my blue horses, you will rest with me, everyone is here. Seconds fly by, but I don't regret it. The eternal billow is not satisfied with tears. Gone is the passion, torture like a dream in the night, as the voice of the soul in the fervor of prayer. Like the wandering of fire, like the turning of fate, the blue horses run away with a quick roar. There are no flowers, no relief dream. Now the grave is your resting place. Who knows thy face, or who shall speak thy name? Who will hear your cry? Who will believe your cry? No one can tell you in the land of wonder. Unknown chimeras sleep in dark corridors. Only the chamber of lights could not be covered by anything. A bar of dry numbers is buried in the desert. With skeletal forests of maddened faces, soulless days appear and fade away. Only in the land of mist, in the land of eternity, above or in the grave, you will be cursed. Like the wandering of the sea, like the turning of fate, the blue horses run away with a quick roar.